It was really painful. It was like so hard to like sit up and then like to lay back down, like getting in and out of the hospital bed. Like I couldn't do it by myself at all. They would have like 2 nurses like trying to like maneuver me. And then they'd like try to get you up and walking, obviously, like right away. But it was like so painful to walk. I was like hunched over. So it took some time, and then finally I got there. But even when I went home and like still had to recover, I didn't do the stairs right away. It was just really painful.
What was surprising for me was that thinking you're only going to have 3 little puncture wounds in your belly, which sounds like not a big deal, but I had it in 10 different places, which I think surprised both of us, like a lot, my doctor section and myself. And recovering from that was much more uncomfortable and painful and laid me out for much longer than I had thought. I got a week off from work. I was expecting to be roller skating with a baby, you know, right in a week. But it was quite misleading in the sense that you just have these little tiny holes, but what goes on inside is quite aggressive, or it can be. So that was the reality check of like, wait a minute, he's joking around with the little uterus model telling me I'm going to be fine, and then I have the doctors like, we're just going to operate, it's just going to get done, and then all of a sudden I'm like laid out and I'm so uncomfortable and I'm kind of suffering a little bit, but you recover, you get better. And New Year's Eve was coming and I knew I'd be drinking champagne, and I thought, you know, this is the one time when I actually might be pregnant, because I'd taken so many pregnancy tests and I always had that disappointment, that feeling of sadness of, well, again, really? And I took the pregnancy test and it was positive. And immediately I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to lose this baby, because I've just gone through this crazy, fast, like, am I wrapping my head around this the right way kind of journey, procedure thing. And then all of a sudden I had a baby, and the endometriosis wasn't a problem anymore, and I was going to have a baby. So I think just what I'm left with thinking of is that it just happened so fast, from diagnosis to treatment to endgame.
He went in and he took out the cyst as well as a lot of scar tissue that was in all sorts of various places. And then I also woke up without an appendix, because apparently that looks really terrible. So I had a couple extra holes that I wasn't aware were going to be there when I woke up. But it's huge. Yeah, I woke up the next day or after the surgery, and he came in the next day. He was like, were you having a lot of nausea also? Because I guess that's associated with the appendix as well. I was like, yeah, I just thought that was normal. It's not, it's not something normal that everyone has. It was only 6 months ago for me, so it's been kind of a recent journey that I'm still figuring out. And for a couple weeks, I think I was feeling, after the initial recovery, but I was feeling a lot better. And then my body, I'm not having any of the pain, but still my body will do this excessive bloating, and just like I'm chronically exhausted and tired, and I'll feel like I ran a marathon when I, had a pretty average, I went out of the house, but I had a pretty average day. And so I'm sort of learning to figure out what works best for me. And I think a lot of that has to do with what I put into my body. I was put on the birth control again, I think a couple weeks after surgery, to sort of keep the surgical area clean. But for me, it made me really depressed. And so after about a week, I just decided this isn't for me. I don't want to go that route. Maybe if I had tried another one, it would have been better. But I just decided that I'd rather try to do things that sort of keep hormones out of, like extra hormones out of my body as much as possible. I've cut out a lot of different things, gluten, dairy, most animal products. I think I've unintentionally gone mostly plant-based, but it's helped me a lot. And if I do sort of eat something that's just for enjoyment, then often regret it, unfortunately.